It's only 2 days until the Winnipeg Blue Bombers play their first regular season game at Investors Group Field, and the club is continuing to iron out their transportation plan.
The enhancements that we announced late last week resulted in significant improvements.
After huge delays plagued the first preseason game at Investors Group Field, fans heading to the Taylor Swift concert on Saturday didn't report any major issues on the way to the show. There were, however, some traffic tie-ups reported when fans left. The football club and Winnipeg Transit say they are looking at ways to make the trip to and from the stadium even smoother, including adding more park and ride locations and special bus-only lanes for fans heading home afterwards.
We're going to try to continue to improve and continue to build on that and take this further.
The Blue Bombers host the Montreal Alouettes on Thursday for Investors Group Field's first regular season CFL game. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock. One man remains in critical condition in hospital following a shooting in the Wolseley area. Police were called to Sherbrooke Street and Wolseley Avenue around 1:30 yesterday morning. Officers say one man was shot. No other information has been released. Anyone with information is asked to call Crime Stoppers. The cleanup continues in southern Alberta after the devastating flood, where residents are beginning to assess the damage. City's Francis D'Souza joins us now live from the downtown Calgary neighborhood of Mission. Francis, good morning.
Courtney, I want to show you the devastation here in this neighborhood and just the force of the water absolutely washed away this entire corner here. The pit is actually quite deep, probably about 3 or 4 feet. Now, the river, the Elbow River, is just down the street here. So all the homes on this street were affected. Actually, Paul, take a look here. Look, even the signpost got eroded away here. But this is what I really want to show you. This is what's been happening now, the big cleanup. So this all came from that house. So the entire contents of the house had to be ripped away. And that includes, right down to the studs, all the drywall, all the insulation. Take a look at the fridge over here. This was covered. This was all covered in water. You can see all the muck here. It's dried off now, so it just flakes away. But, look inside. You can see this gets in the motor. It's very sticky. It's completely ruined. They've got the big pump trucks out now on this street. So what they're doing is they're trying to suck out all the water from the underground garage that's under that complex over there. And it's quite a task. They've been here since yesterday at noon. And it's quite incredible. And when you look at this, you can understand why the Bank of Montreal has assessed the damage here in the city of Calgary somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 to $5 billion. This is monumentous. The Premier is saying, look, the cleanup plan is a 10-year plan. Now, she is issuing fairly right away $1 billion in emergency relief, but that's not going to get to people for another week or two. They are going to put some cash on cards because all these people cannot live in their homes right now. So they're either with friends or they're in hotels, but they need cash. They need access to this. So that's still the state of emergency here in the city of Calgary. Although transit will be up and running in the downtown core again, they're still asking people to avoid the core. I'll send it back to you.
Francis D'Souza reporting live from Calgary for us this morning, and we will be checking in regularly with Francis throughout the morning here on BT. Meanwhile, Calgary Stampede officials say the annual extravaganza will go ahead, quote, come hell or high water. The grounds of the Calgary Stampede were stamped last week when rivers in the city burst their banks after heavy rain. Officials say the show has never been canceled, not even for 2 world wars and a Great Depression, and 2013 will be no exception. Professional cleaning crews are working to scrape mud from the tarmac and sanitize the Stampede buildings. The province is bringing in new rules meant to protect people against unauthorized, expensive, or poor car repairs. Starting July 1st, repair shops must offer written estimates for any repairs over $100 and get authorization before doing any repairs and provide warranties for all parts and associated labor. They also need to make sure the final bill is within 10% of the estimate. Consumer Affairs Minister Jim Rondeau says a lot of people may be intimidated when dealing with repair shops and adds these regulations will make sure they are treated fairly.
Under these new rules, Manitobans can be assured that when they're dealing with repair shops, they have the information they need to make best decisions for themselves. they understand what the financial costs are before they get into it. And number 3, they will make sure that they have enough money to make sure they pay their bills and things connect.
Manitoba's Consumer Protection Office will make sure shops comply with the new rules and can penalize those that don't. And we'll have more news coming up at 7 o'clock. Right now, we'll check in with Jenna.